Oi, oi. Oh, oi, 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 oi. So you might actually be wondering, Ivan, what are you doing here? You shouldn't be here yet. Uh, let me at first do my like dumbass intro, okay? So, first off, hello. So you might be wondering, like, why am I already back? Didn't I say I was gonna be gone for the entire week? Yes, that was originally the plan as well, but the reason I had to like call off the streams for a week was, well, the guy came back on Wednesday, which was yesterday. So instead of having to do an entire week, I only had to do 3 days, and trust me, and I hated that job. I hate that job so much, man. Waking up at 4 a.m. and being home at 5 p.m. is it just ain't fun. It just ain't fun. But anyways, hello, Nico. Hello, Fartbav. Thank you for the gift sub. Don't charge back. I need my money. Nah, thank you for the gift sub, Fartbav. It's too scrundly. What the fuck does scrundly mean? Who needs anyway? Them are raw guys. Hello, Engine. Thank you for the sub. Thank you, man. And I actually been making money almost every month with all of this. Like, damn. I'm about to actually make some money. Yeah. But yeah, I'm still slightly tired. Like, today is the day where I kind of just do nothing. Like, I kind of don't want to do any, like, proper work today. Cause yeah, I started work usually at like 4:30 a.m. in the morning, and usually would drive until like 5 p.m. in the evening. And it certainly was, yeah, it was certainly long days. They weren't necessarily too difficult, but they were certainly days. I got through them. I did it all, so all is good, all is fine and dandy. Just, yeah, those were long days, and I don't have YouTube channel, but I can. But yeah, now I'm here, back again, attempting to stream some bullshit, and yeah, I hope you guys can be happy again, wasting your time watching my streams. Hey Cassia, what do the sites reveal? Okay.
I have enjoyed your.
I think there wasn't anything to talk about with anyone. It's been a while. Supposedly last played on the 7th of July. Anything interesting lately? Okay, nothing. Anya sleeps on stream, and if you actually would have had me sleep on stream, had I actually streamed in the past 3 days. Like, you're joking, but I might have actually. And I don't think that would, I don't think that would be really all that interesting or funny. But, I mean, maybe. What do I know? Punisher feature. I get profit factor and security, but this one, like, it would be better. I want that. I want that. So how are you guys doing today? More peace sleep. Yeah, I mean, we could probably get an artist to do that. Yeah, sure. Let's ping Qua on the server and tell her draw more peace sleep. Make it to meme. What do you mean, make it to meme? What do you mean?
Look, Captain, Master helps me on the line. I can report that the quest for the capital world of the Von Valences dynasty is finally at an end. Dargonus is straight ahead. We've received countless greetings. Your subjects will like to know when their master will be arriving. The merchant captain is taking refuge in the orbit of Douglas of Dargonus race to send you priceless welcoming gifts. Open to buy your favor and make an impression of the rogue trader. I'll go there later. It will be done, Lord Captain.
After the connection to the master helmsman is cut, the device crackles with Henrik's voice.
Lord Captain, I will be pleased to accompany you during your visit to Dargonus. I can personally introduce Achilles Calendar, a servant of the Golden Throne who previously attended Lady Theodora on Dargonus. I'm counting on your benevolence.
The voice cast ends with a click. As long as it doesn't end with a dick. Well, then again, I mean... Is anything here? For Phlogiston, sure. What is here? Oh. Mods cut his balls. Just cut them, not cut them off, just cut. What is she saying?
How did this world look before it was enveloped in this fiery shroud? Was the ancestors Alan Tuck with his gorgeous coif in some ill-content act?
Anything here? Nothing, okay. Let's go to that merchant ship. There are many members of the Merchants Guild.
Lord Captain, a transport shuttle bearing the markings of the Adeptus Mechanicus is approaching the ship. Magos Tarsus' delegation intends to board our ship and gain an audience with your lordship. This is exactly how they phrased it. He intends, not humbly requests. Many of my tech comrades neglect diplomacy when interacting with the laity. It is regrettable. What do they want? The honorable servants of the Omnissiah have ignored our request. Such arrogance is hardly trivia, and it rather appears to be part of the intimidation tactics. Yeah, just let them in. It will be done so, Lord Captain. Requesting permission to be present at the audience granted to my tech comrades. Yep, sure. I mean, you want to be part of it? Be my guest. I mean, Well, I mean, you said mods cut his balls, and I'm like, hey, well, like, what do we do? Like, just, like, shave them? Or just, like, cut them off? Cut them up? Like, what kind of cutting? Okay, I need to upgrade you. Yeah, so... Given I don't think I will be playing much with him, I'm just gonna pick whatever we have here. Kill zone, yes. Persuasion. How's this guy, like, good at persuasion? Yeah, this one. And, yeah, weapon skill, yes. Could you just cut it from the source? Just cutting it off? Why do you hate my balls? Yeah, sure. Yeah. Steel of the Forg. Yeah, weapon skill, yeah. Logic. All allies in the secular against 10% dodge parry and armor, yeah. Personal zone. Point of interest. Redeployment. This one, yeah. Wait, weapon skill is melee. Oh yeah, I did actually try to make him melee, I remember now. Sure, willpower, and then go for perception. Tech use, combat locust. The target area's bonuses are doubled. Yeah, sure, yeah. Critical zone, You have tits and the ball. What the hell are you on about, man?
What the hell are you talking about?
Okay, you wanted to talk. A group dressed in the crimson of the priesthood of Mars walks towards you. Their gazes are fixed on Pascal. You note that the group is not monolithic. Some of its members are more heavily armed and follow large tech priests clad in battle armor. Others keep a respectful distance and cast inquiring looks at their own leader, whose hunched posture belies his tall frame. Despite a hood hiding his face, you recognize that Opticon 22 who you encountered on Footfall. The enormous tech priest points his hand at Pascal and lets out a booming roar not unlike a factory alarm. It makes your very bones vibrate. Herald servo skulls marked with the emblem of the cog follow in his wake. They blare shrilly, "Thou shalt not suffer a heretic in thy forge, for rust begets rust. Pascal Hanuman, in the name of the Adeptus Mechanicus, you're under arrest?" Wait. The hunched servant of the Omniscient turns to you. "Diplomacy mode engaged. Announcement. The Adeptus Mechanicus offer their apologies for. Would like to inform you of the necessity of conducting an operation to detain, arrest, terminate a faulty unit on the Rogue Traders' territory." I first studied the two. You identified the rare armor the enormous tech priest is wearing as the Secutus's plated, mechanized suit. It carries the imprints of many battles and has markings that announce its status as a relic. Some of the armor's damage looks fairly severe to the point of endangering its operation. The slivers of flesh revealed under the steel are marked with terrible chemical burns. Every now and then, convulsions shake the tech priest's body, and a painful-sounding hiss comes from his vox. The tall priest who spoke to you looks more peaceful and makes a point of not drawing his weapon. There is an air of concern about the way he frequently glances over at his fellow, scrutinizing his condition. I might just drank some water and alcohol. I thought it was water. Ah, the Eastern European thing of not being able to trust a bottle of water because it actually isn't water, but rather some moonshine. Yeah. I know that feeling. I had that happen to me once. Who are you? In a burst of chattering, the servo skulls hasten to translate the master's mighty Beneric howl. An instrument to the Omnissiah authorized to punish and exact vengeance, known by the designation Tarsus Hanuman. Identification codes recognized and confirmed. These units are who they declare themselves to be. On what charge are you trying to arrest a member of my retinue? This heretic is accused of stealing personal identification codes, spreading tech heresy on the world of Kiava Gamma, and making an attempt on the life of a servant of the Omnissiah. Eh? The deafening roar from the tech priest's vox makes you grimace in pain. You touch your ear and notice blood on your fingers. The faulty unit will be removed. In the name of the Omnissiah, I condemn you. Lightning flashes across the warrior's armor. Agony resounds in the blare of his vox alarm. In contrast, Pascal speaks quietly and coldly. You are malfunctioning, dear comrade. I deem your logical conclusions questionable. The statement is false. Tech brother Terrace Hanuman is willingly undergoing holy torment. Deterioration, which however does not critically affect
His cognitive capacity for data analysis.
Unit calling itself Pascal Hanuman. We have information that implicates you, having learned that you are a member of the retinue. Maintenance specialist. The service of our rogue trader of Valencias. We have come here with the goal of meeting you, intercepting you, engaging you in combat. Does the big fellow have to roar? Point to the furious servant of the Omniscient. Do you have proof that this tech priest is who he claims to be? Confirmed. According to archive entry IE-99237, Magos Explorator Tarsus Hanuman served on, maintained, the ship identifier classified, in the capacity of a reliquary caretaker. He sustained extensive damage to both the organic and the sacred part of his body in a series of sacrilegious breaches of the right of operation, an assassination attempt. Owing to a statistically fortunate coincidence, by the Omnissiah's grace, enough of his operational capacity was preserved for him God damn it, Salieri. For him to don a Goliath model sacred metal harness, which would preserve his vital functionality. Archive entry personally data sealed by the captain of the identifier classified. The sound from the tech priest's vox is like the moan of a bending steel beam. A servo skull declares, "For vengeance I thirst as I tread the path of vengeance, following a blasphemous miscreant's bloody tracks." The thing that reproduces genitalia, I haven't moved past that. I mean, they don't go full robo.
They only go like as robo as possible, not at full robo. So I would say they probably still need them, but they don't really care about that much. Or if anything, they're gonna enhance it. Like, you know, like pumps. Yeah, like they have like on their balls, they have like these pumps next to them of just like so they shoot like one massive beam of cum, right? Like instead of like the usual like a few like a few like little splurts or something, it just goes. Or each splurt is like a really strong beam, right? Like straight to the womb, you know, like boom, to the back of the. Analysis of the security system showed that assassins, heretics, infiltrated the reliquary using tech brother Tarsus's and a unique identification code. Someone had stolen, duplicated brother Tarsus's identity, which is a grade 3 transgression. And the unit making the allegedly criminal claim of being Pascal Hanuman is not have previously used entered the stolen code. How do you suppose Pascal was involved in events of Kiava Gamma? Our data suggests that the unit which used Magus Explorator Hanuman's as identification code performed an unauthorized upgrade on the planetary Vox array and introduced data deemed to be scrap code into its operation. This fact points to the unit's criminal complicity with the heretic Cubis Delphim. I use combine. What do you have to say to this about this Pascal? Pascal replies firmly, his voice crackling with a hint of indignation. I deny these charges. I never plotted against my tech comrade. My cognitive purity vows were never distorted. My unique identification code was never stolen. I am the true Magos Explorator Hanuman, and I am not guilty. Tech Priest's deep, guttural roars blend with the silver skull's high-pitched whine. False witness. I'm not handing Pascal over unless I see evidence. Let's get to the bottom of this matter. Put this together. Request approved. Ready to work in cooperative mode. Friend slop. Terraces gives you a haughty look and lets out a howl of wrath. Archiving. Tech Brother Terraces opposes lay participation in the investigation. Search for the truth. The unit Opticon 22 advises in favor of the House of Valencia's representatives' participation request. I insist on a joint investigation. Arresting a rogue trader Vietnam without justification stands in breach of lumber privileges under the warrant of trade. I've been to Kiev again and I can assure you Pascal has nothing to do with it. Request for cooperation reviewed and accepted. I request Tech Brother Terraces' consent to the co-participation of representatives of the Valencia's dynasty in investigation proceedings. Makes use with Combeam. Isn't there a game that got released of that? Wait, no, that was what was the game with the beans called? Where they all shoot each other. And it's like there's a movie. Pilot Bean. No, not Combeam. Gun Bean? No. Joel played it recently. Killer Bean. A sacrilegious conspiracy. I refuse help from laypersons. I am a cog of the Deus Mechanicus that grinds down corruption, and I will carry out the sentence immediately. Pascal freezes, but the green sparks light up in his visor. He extends a hand toward Tarsus and replies in a clanging voice, "Let this cycle be discontinued." You realize Pascal's words are coming from both his own Vox and Tarsus's. Then, every sensor on the executioner's battle harness lights up at once, blindingly, and the wounded armored Leviathan lets out a deafening roar of pain. Attention, priority notification. Service units of the Kappa Threat supply line are authorized to confront the rogue trader. Command, retreat and reinitiate negotiations. Heretic Pascal, I'll direct punish you upon in the name of the Deus Mechanicus. Oh, they want to fight me, okay. Well, the Fort Path has already... Fort Path has already appeared, but the Fort Path is back. We're here again. Okay, Abelard, you go over here. Well, not over there, that's this Pujan who I have equipped. You go in the back here, yeah, where you can see everyone. Where do I put Lysandra? Suppose here. I should probably put Argenta there instead. I'm saving for Caw. Based. I love the Caw redeem that I have. Like, you don't understand, I love the Caw redeem. But Ivan, it's already over. Deltarune Chapter 5 is not that popular anymore. I don't give a flying fuck. I love Caw. I love my son. Damn, all of them weaker. What is it? If the target has a reject flesh or a fair sanctum feature, if the target's mechanism mission is of a 30 target. Ooh. Kill zone. Why can't I? Oh yeah, I need to assign, yeah, I need to assign these, I remember. You finished Deltarune? Yeah! I love telling Deltarune who never played and go, what? Nah, I mean, well, people just haven't played those games, I mean. Fair. Not everybody, you know, has played the rune of the deltas. That's fair. What? You haven't played Deltarune? What do you mean you haven't played the rune of the deltas before? What? Oh, hell no! Oh, hell no! Tarsus is Scutarius. Come on, fuck him up! What is that weapon? Looks like a plasma weapon. Oh, it was an arc rifle. Was that a melter gun? Oh, please don't tell me that's a melter gun. Oh, no, it's a rifle. Vicar. Well, they really want to kill, Oh, unlucky.
A soldier would have been disciplined for such a performance.
Oh, wait. You see what I see here?
Enemies of the Emperor will be undone.
Oh, Pujan is going to love this.
As the Emperor
Hold
commands,
on,
I
confident
act.
approach. This, then stronger area attacks. Various recital, and now.
Faith without deeds, if this is why I was chosen.
Whoa! It almost a crit as well. And they should be all blinded now, right? They're stunned. I mean, it was piercing and rending damage. What do we define as rending damage? A type of physical damage. Impact damage. They'll bet anything with a sharp edge like a bladed weapon. Okay, they're blinded, but apparently they're not blinded. We're meeting BRB. How dare you?
I'll do it.
How dare you have things to do, Fartbath? How dare you? Nah, I would say enjoy your work meeting, but who truly enjoys work meetings? Ooh, that poor guy in the back. Ah, can't get all the... No, I didn't mean to skip his turn, but okay. Why did I just hear that, like, twice? Oh, Jesus Christ, that was a very bad... Yeah, I need to get that off of him there. Jesus Christ, that sounded horrendous. What about Pujan? Actually, now that I think about it, Pujan couldn't actually... I mean, I could do this, but... Ah, fuck it. Did Lister, and then... bonus boss for Pujan. Okay, now... Move.
Make it happen.
Move, burb. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Because we're gonna get everyone.
It's as good as done.
Debuff. Then Mind Bond.
Me.
All the allies are like in sync with Lysandra's brain.
I'll make it happen.
Study this guy. Dominate. Yeah, sure. And do I finish off with the cum gun? No, I don't have the AoE. Just shock damage. Is it random? Wait, no. Is it random? 3 closest enemies. Okay, but I would argue that's this guy, and then this guy. Not this guy, but sure. Okay. Well. Yeah, right. You're really thinking you can just hit Pujan like that, huh? Okay, pain resonance. Hold on, before I do this. So they're all bleeding and burning, so that's lots of dodge and armor for Pujan. How much dodge and armor does he have right now? 100% armor, 75% dodge. Yeah, that's a roided up Pujan, alright. That's a roided up Pujan. Yep, have them all take more damage, and then just, yeah, fuck them over.
The Emperor's judgment.
Yep, that's the Pujan I know and love.
Bring glory to my bloodline. You stand a chance.
Yep, that's Pujan. That's Pujan for you.
Tactics are flawless.
Strike
Yep,
is
that's
rare.
Pujan for you. Pujan just, not just Pujan, just clearing everyone in one very nice sweep. Simply because he can, not because he should. But he should and he can. Hydration, I will be drinking some Pepsi, thank you. Pascal, what did you do to Tarsus? Pascal, confused reply comes from his vox in a rasp. Unable to fulfill request. The Omnissiah granted me an epiphany, and I muted the maimed machine spirit that was filling Tarsus's mind with fury. I do not fully understand the manner of my appeal to it. The situation perfectly mirrors the incident on Ricad Minoris, where I appealed to the machine spirit of a malfunctioning mechanism and laid it to rest. Help your brother. The unit that called itself Tarsus Hanuman is dead. Has been disabled. The material asset is beyond restoration or reuse as spare parts. After a pause, Pascal bows his head and a Benheric requiem pours out of his vox. Despite his misconceptions, he was a servant of the Omnissiah. I'm sorry that you had to kill a comrade. I also regret have a negative assessment of this event. The Adeptus Mechanicus still accused the unit identifying itself as Pascal Hanuman of criminal theft of a unique identification code. Unlike Tech Brother Tarsus, I am not authorized to immediately arrest, execute the unit, but neither am I authorized to drop the inquiry. There are no apostates among us. Ding 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 ding. Ding ding ding. Ding ding. The pissing voice from the Vox synth is more overwhelming than Tarsus' thunderous roar. Tech Brother Tarsus and the machine spirit have lived in his battle harness succumbed to the suffering that beset him. Their judgment was rash and erroneous. Now Now their torment is over. I declare them martyrs, and am requesting Tarsus Hanuman's neural augmenting for the purposes of preserving his blessed memory. The astonished tech priest look on. Pascal leans over the slain man's body and extracts the augmentic form from his skull. His movements are as precise as they're respectful. Pascal? The tech priest makes an imperious gesture, stopping you from continuing. With each word, Pascal's voice grows more powerful and majestic. You saw the agony your tech brother Tarsus was in. His unbridled, pain-spurred faith intimidated you, yet you were silent. Reverence stopped you from raising your voices to proclaim that the machine spirit with which his mind had merged was forcibly afflicted. The imperative of reverence had paralyzed your will, and you watched the tragedy unfold in silence. The sixth universal law states that comprehension is the true path to knowledge, yet the procedural cycle has robbed you of your comprehension. Therefore, let the cycle be discontinued. There is a clang as Opticon 22's knee presses on the floor. Crimson hooded heads are bowed. Let the cycle be discontinued. The radiant light pouring out of Pascal's visor grows dimmer. Static creeps back into his voice. Let the cycle be discontinued, dear comrades. That's just one small point of clear on what just happened. Pascal's voice crackles somewhat tentatively. I decided to sustain my words with an excerpt from one of the blessed Amarnatz's sermons on loss of internal and external function, verse 4. My analysis deemed it appropriate. What is the reason for this act of genuflection? It has been a long time since the words of the Messiah of discontinuing were last spoken openly over public communication, but we respectfully welcome Wisdom's return. So he is not forgotten after all. Messiah of discontinuing, is that referred to Amarnat? Following Archmagos' Amarnat partial lessiation removal from the chain of command, that was the authorship attribution of the series of sermons on discontinuing the cycle that were disseminated across the cognises. It was, in fact, a title used by many in times past. Do you know where Amarnat is now? Data unavailable. No reports have mentioned Archmagos' Amarnat since the incident of the Arch Mechanicus Hermetico, which led to the presumed disappearance of that void ship. My archive has no data on the Hermetico incident. The vessel was the blessed Amarnatz's base of operation. Is it lost then? Pascal's voice is filled with anxiety. Were you among his followers? Negative. I had no contact with Archmagos Amarnat and was never a member of his flock, disciples, retinue. However, my analysis of the doctrine he outlined inspired in me deep respect for him, trust in him. Is Amarnat's teaching not heretical? This statement is false, contrary to what many servants of the Omnissiah thought they knew, prefer to believe. The fleet is supreme never formulated, issued an official statement on that decision. 37% of the Supreme Conclave's members openly supported Archmagos Amarnatz's views and disappeared to be removed from the chain of command under circumstances that were classified. The Supreme Conclave has not had a quorum ever since. I presume the conflict between you and Pascal has been resolved? The data received provides a basis for calling the fallen tech brother Tarsus' hypothesis into question. Out of respect for, due to the lack of authorization to enact the followers of the Messiah of discontinuing, we will not proceed with the detainment, arrest, termination. The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. Thank you, Tech Brother Opticon 22. Another conflict has been resolved. Board my ship. Request denied. The Kappa Threat Supply Line delegation is leaving Dargonus, expresses gratitude for the hospitality, ceasefire, and proclaims its intent to return to Footfall to resume performing its regular functions. The tech priest looks over at Pascal as if waiting for something. Pascal's mechadendrite briefly touches the shoulder of Opticon 22, and bows respectfully.
A bit of humility never hurt anyone. I help others better themselves by wholeheartedly humiliating them at every step.
Why is this guy like in the floor? Okay, stub carbine, arc rifle, improved vest, okay. Corpses, yay, corpse looting. The one here. Yeah, Omniscion axe. I really wish I could. Wait, I got nothing out of this other than like some cheap loot. Trophy changes, veil degradation, Tarsus. Tarsus dies. Okay, so someone wants Pascal dead. Very interesting.
Follow my lead.
Hmm. I mean, it is a bit weird that there's so many Hanumans out there. Or, as I should say in German, Hanoiman. Hanuman. Hanoiman, ja. Hanoiman. Actually, let me talk with Pascal real quick. Like, he probably has something to say about this.
My apologies. 19% of my processing power is engaged in the analysis of my tech comrade's memory. My response time may be longer than usual.
Have you found anything out?
The data is scarce. His identification code is the same as mine, and his memory contains data confirming that the assassination did take place. Unfortunately, some of his memory was damaged by pulses broadcast by his battle harness. I can assert with some confidence that he was who he claimed to be, and that he served the Deus Mechanicus earnestly and eagerly.
Yeah, but then if you two have the same identification code, then... Huh?
My study of the minds of the tech comrades, Abel, Tarsus, and Demence, has revealed an anomalous similarity between the patterns of damage their memories sustained. What I attributed to cognitive idiosyncrasies, synaptic damage, and the distortive action of scrap code may be the result of a different kind of influence.
Drugs.
The undecryptable data fragments in their memory arrays are mysteriously symmetrical.
I gave off the impression of a paranoid madman.
Notwithstanding his permanent state of agony, he was not cognitively dysfunctional. His desire to immediately destroy the object he had deemed profane was partly dictated by his engrammatic augmetics, which were receiving imperatives from his battle harness.
So his battle harness made him do what he did.
In light of the oddness of our matching identification codes, I find merit in his hypothesis as to the existence of a clandestine malevolent agent or conspiracy operating inside our fraternity.
Who do you think was behind the assassination?
No data available. I will hypothesize that the assassination was instigated by an enemy of the Blessed Amanat's doctrine. I accept the possibility that the assassins were targeting me, only to be led astray by Tarsus and my own identical identifiers.
Who would want to murder you?
I am concerned about the fate of Archmagos Amanat. According to Opticon 22, he went missing in the wake of the incident on an Arc Mechanicus, the Hermetico. Information about that ship and its perishing has been purged from the archives. I accept the possibility that the incident on the ship, the concealed data, and the assassination have all been part of a single conspiracy.
You were haunted to remember meeting Rickard Minoris and the people opposed as heretics?
This statement is true. There were also the bodies we discovered in the hallowed electrodynamic cenobium of unknown infiltrators who had posed as members of the cult of the Final Dawn. There is merit to the hypothesis that all carriers of Magos Haneman's identification code are targets of persecution.
Are you not surprised that Amanat's words such an effect on Opticon-22?
I was not knowledgeable as to how popular Blessed Amanat's teaching was in exploratory circles. The Cognizance fleet is massive. His ideas might have found a larger following on its periphery than in the Mother Squadron.
Does it ever occur to you that all these depends may be part of Amanat's plan?
That is a valid hypothesis, but not a very likely one. Its truth value is irrelevant, as it Archmagus Amanat.
Amunet was a believer, and he's called a schism. Goddamn schism. Tursus was a believer, and he turned into a zealot. Faith can be dangerous.
Of course, faith is dangerous. Faith is the prerogative of the spirit, and a spiritless mind is an enemy of all existence. Without faith, there is no meaning in anything, no point to any aspirations or limitations. But faith can take different forms.
For example, in the form of a three episodic game.
The form of prohibitions established by unknown elders. The form of an audacious violation of those prohibitions. The form of following dogma or of schism. The form of following the cycle or of discontinuing the cycle. In a system with two courses of action, schism is inevitable. And only one of these paths will be true, as truth is discreetly separate from untruth.
Pascal's visor seems to almost pierce you with its glow. Did Amunet believe the elders to be in error?
Amanat did not reject any one specific prohibition, but found their cumulative effect to be oppressive. The system of rigid limitations had confined seekers of knowledge to a circular track, spelling doom for the thinking mind. And that cycle of repetition had to be broken. That was why he was dubbed the Messiah of discontinuing.
I'm a fool with no flow in the creed, but truthfully, my faith is more than a set of rules and consists of ideals which sometimes go into conflict with dogma. I've been given the gift of will to set this dogma straight. I prefer to believe in myself, my own ability to stand independently. What is my faith? It's just a shackle of obedience. Good for controlling my subordinate. Nah. I'm going my morning milk with energy drink. How much do you give me if I try that tomorrow? How much do you give me if I try that? Why am I asking to do this? I'm gonna do this anyways. Give me a wet fart. Master the room consists of ideas and I think yeah, this one.
The Omnissiah has bestowed upon us the supreme mission, the quest for knowledge.
Oh, quest for knowledge. Why milk? Why did you pick milk? What wonders does it do?
In its entirety. This precludes the existence of any prohibition
Hydration?
that could be considered universally relevant. All limitations need their exceptions, yet exceptions belie the inviolability of prohibitions.
Thank you, Titanium Sword, and hello, Titanium Sword. Pascal's voice takes on a thoughtful tone, and its otherworldly might peters out.
I will continue my research into the Blessed Martyr's memory with all due reverence.
Into a spoiled milk type of concoction.
May your
Sounds tasty. Sounds funny. Going over here, Kibella and Idira, but I don't really like Idira. Right, so before I continue, oh Jesus, silly. So before I continue, I need to very quickly go and feed the dogs. So give me a few minutes and I will be right back. So to quote Joel, sit tight and don't go nowhere. Christ's sake. Right, I'm back. Sorry. Yeah, so the dogs at first refused to eat because they are spoiled. Apparently the 3 days I haven't been here, they've been spoiled super well. And then I was told by the missus, well, by my mom no less, that I have to be very, 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 like, I have to keep feeding them by hand. I'm just like, why are we encouraging, like why are we encouraging the being spoiled? But hey, what the hell do I know? My door isn't open, it isn't closed. I really, really, really. My door is open. Oh, great. The fucking bottles here as well. Oh, great. That. Gamer setup. Brew. It's not interesting. No, I don't have the diarrhea parasite. I just. Yeah. Yeah. But, anyways, hello. Hello, Mr. Flippums. Hello, good day. Hope you're doing a-okay on this Thursday. Administratum from Valencia's palace. Let's go to my palace first. Pascal, leave. But yeah, hello, and sorry for that super long BRB. That BRB was longer than it really needed to be. Ugh. Yay, that's my palace. Oh damn, these, ooh. Ooh my, these are like pristine 5 FPS.
The rogue trader. Greetings, your lordship. Greetings, your lordship. Glory to the great rogue trader. Greetings, your lordship.
I did unmute myself, right? Yeah, okay. I feel the game is a bit quiet. But I think I had this issue before where the game was too quiet, but also too loud at the same time. Like, if it's too loud, it's way too loud. If it's too quiet, it's way too quiet. The Emperor protects. Welcome home, your lordship. The stately woman in a long full dress uniform makes a graceful curtsy. Her short, graying hair does not obscure her stern features. I am Clementia Versarian, Court Chancellor of the Von Valancias dynasty. On behalf of all of Dargonus, please accept my deepest condolences on the untimely passing of Theodora von Valancias. Her departure is a terrible blow to us all, but as one star expires, another always flares to life. Technically, that's not how it works. And although still overcome with bitterness and grief, your subjects hope that you will become the Trade Dynasty's guiding light in these trying times. Like stupid hammer. Why are you insulting game like this? What did game do to you?
Clementia.
Abelard offers a reserved nod. She nods in return, the lines on his brow soften ever so slightly. Warhammer, more like stupid hammer. Ooh, you look funny. Oh, this guy has not eaten anything, damn. Achilles Scalander, interesting name. The young man quickly brings a respirator to his burnt face and bows his head courteously. His raven black hair veils his burns and skull implants, and his thin metal fingers creak quietly as he offers a welcoming gesture. Achilles Scalander, Secretary of the Administratum Department. I hope your journey to the Dargonus was not darkened by unwanted troubles. It was terrible, then realizing the missing security was illusory. We had some incidents, but those are irrelevant at the moment. Quite right, your lordship. What happened cannot be changed, but you still have great deeds ahead of you. So let us look to the future with hope in our hearts. Does your lordship wish to survey the grounds? Or perhaps we could sate your curiosity by answering any questions you might have. Governor Urban the Drivestem has been notified of your arrival in Dargonus and visit the palace shortly. The preparations for the official visit are well in hand, but your lordship still has plenty of time before the meeting. Hold on a moment, Clementia. What did you say your last name was? Clementia nods politely. You heard correctly, your lordship. I am of House Versarian, Lord Abelard's granddaughter and direct descendant. I knew I remembered the name Versarian. Fucking Abelard. Hey, Abelard. Abelard. Hey, you fucked.
Chancellor Versarian has held her position at the Von Valancias court for many years. She earned Lord Captain Theodorus' respect through acts of great perseverance. There's no for doubt. Blood had nothing to do with it.
I know. The Emperor possesses also strength humanity's domain through her deities. They have reason to be proud of your progeny. Blood looks at you in surprise, but then immediately puts on an air of indifference. Thank you, Lord Captain. Why isn't the governor here to greet me? Apologies, your lordship. Governor Drefstem's residence is on the other side of the world, by the administratum palace of Dargonus. We sent word as soon as you entered the system, but it takes time to travel the great distances of your domain. So you're telling me that this guy needs, like, a while to reach me, but I could just get through the system in, like, seconds? Genesis Viserion appears unruffled, but you cannot shake the thought that a governess's lateness is a subtle political gesture destined to test the limits of what is acceptable when it comes to interacting with the new rogue trader. Alright. He's gonna get a thrashing. I'd like to rest before the meeting. Where are my chambers? Being over close, just down the hall. This is also where the study of the audience chambers are. Achilles' face brightens with a pearly white smile, restoring some of his former good looks. Lady Theodora's study has remained locked since her last departure, but on account of your arrival, we've arranged for it to be tidied up. It is ready whenever you are needed. You are dismissed. I apologize for my bluntness, but I have a request to make. Perhaps before the meeting takes place, the illustrious Lord Captain could spare a few minutes for a conversation with me? Achilles bows his head. I'm certain you will find my report on the state of affairs in the Von Valence's protectorate most useful. Rogue Trader, that's the name of the game. Oh my god. The thing, oh my god, Rogue Trader's like the game. Whoa.
Halt. I noticed something.
Toss a coin. Glinting in the light, the coin puts into clear water and sinks to the bottom. Rogue Trader? I barely know her. Goods. Okay, cool. Keep tossing coins in there. Yeah, there are like 10 coins in there. Irgun, what are you doing here? Oh, so long it has been since I engaged in a spontaneous symposium of this nature. The intellectual sustenance you offer, colleagues, is of immense worth. We're now in a Rogue Trader. Yeah, that's what Cassia is going to say. She's going to be in a Rogue Trader. Greetings to you, your lordship, your lordship. May the God Emperor protect you, Mother Spujanovsky. Hey Jay, are you scamming people again? Such illustrious society, such well-heeled nobles. Indeed, it would be worth visiting Dargonus even without getting to know you, Shireen. The world offers huge scope for doing business. Got to remove the inn. We're now in a rogue trade. No. You wanted to. You wanted to say you want a bone puja. Boom. And nobody worry about anything. Long live the wrong trader. The wrong trader, not the rogue trader. The wrong trader. The Lex mechanics are exchanging binary tirades, not noticing your presence. Oh, they don't give a shit about me. Okay. Yeah, that sounds like my life's... what was it? Similar finds all over the planet. Many sages and acolytes of the arcane sciences were puzzled over this trophy... over this trophy brought from a forgotten world in the outskirts of the Coronus expanse. Rogue trader? More like a stupid trader. I know. Flippums. I know. What a blessing to see you in person, your lordship. Mundus Valencius. Mundus. Oi, what is happening up here? As you approach, the mechanic subtly bows his head while continuing to emit binhoric trills. Underappreciated? Yeah, you are like the funniest person on this entire planet. Like, ooh, such things as I barely know her 3.7 times in a row, specifically 0.7 because by the third time you're noticing the joke has gone dry, but you can't just not do it again. Yeah, like truly, you should do stand-up comedy, or rather, you should do stand-up comedy, because I don't. In the name of the Golden Throne, we live and die so we may protect his light from the obliterating darkness.
Oh, galactic sovereign, protect your flock from aliens. Oh, one of us in a beam that will. Yes, 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 yes.
Actually made a barely know her joke at work today. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, I need to know the context. Why would you willingly make a I barely know her joke? Who fell into the trap of giving you, like, the opportunity for that? Who would give you an opportunity to do a soft chuckle as a reaction? It's already more than what you should expect. Saltmarsh is called Kvader. Kvader, ik barely know her. Kvader, ik barely know her, ja. Enka dinka durken, I speak the funny fake German language. And Quellen is third. Kwelder, ik barely know her.
The walls of your home suffocate me, Alandak. I long to leave this twisted world at the first opportunity.
Aww. A living fruit-bearing tree in the heart of the hive world is a fantastical sight. They probably use a lot more water to tend to this tree than the average Dargonus citizen can hope to receive in their daily rations. Jesus. Head of Janos delegation. The Janos delegation salutes you, your lordship. Janos. Your lordship. Janos. Janos. 99% of all Warhammer players barely know her. I barely know her. Ha 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 ha. You have an emote for that. You have an emote to make these jokes. Don't be selective about using it. It's free anyways. But thank you, NG. Thank you. Wait.
Welcome, your lordship. Let me inform you of the location of the chambers of your dynastic estate. The main throne room is up the stairs and straight ahead. You subject Achilles Calendar informed me that he humbly awaits the opportunity to meet with you there.
Can't control me, I can't, yeah, but I can gaslight you. Not doing this makes you a poopy head. If you don't do it, you lose privileges to...
If your lordship wishes to rest after your long journey, then your personal chambers are up the stairs and on the right.
If you don't use, you're a poopy head and you stink despite you showering. And your cologne will get bad.
If you need anything, whatever your soul desires, I'll be right next to your chambers, eagerly awaiting your orders.
Yeah, so can I get some, some Pepsi? Can you bring me some Pepsi?
Greetings, your lordship.
These are my personal chambers.
We need to investigate.
Goods, boots. Whenever the wearer moves through a cell occupied by an enemy, the wearer takes 15% dodging against it. Oh, okay, that's... The leather covers bear the names of the authors, mostly philosophers and theologians from Dargonus. The spines of the books are trimmed with gold. I'm going poopy stinky half funny on us. What the... You do know what kind of humor I go for. I like pee-pee poo-poo humor. This antique piece of furniture is obviously well cared for, but its surface is still covered with a lot of scuffs, scratches, and stains. Traces of the previous occupants who sat on this bitch at a table. Table! Oh wow, it worked. Multi-melter. The largest type of melter weapon, usually employed by the Adeptus Astartes and mounted upon Imperial vehicles. Wait. A multi-melter? Wait, where is it? A multi-melter. Ooh, ooh. A multi-melter. Rate of fire 1, range 4, maximum 8. Can melters burn enemies? I think we're playing Lies of Penis. I was just doing urine test would make life so much more difficult. To play to play Lies of P or Yeah, this is Drew Corey. The Drew Corey. I mean, a multi-melter. I think only Abelard is... Yeah, he can use melters. Hey, wouldn't it be funny if she also could carry a melter? It's only 1 to 20. Like, instead of the unstable flamer, it's just a melter. Melter scorching. Would be cool. Open door. My balcony. Would the P lie? Or the P was... Didn't the people that made that game admit to, like I think the company was looking for AI, like, experts and quote-unquote artists for their DLC or something. Or did the DLC already get revealed? I don't know, I just remember they also were okay with using AI and, yay. A sturdy safe equipped with several bizarre mechanisms. Well, if I could just go... The cockpit is producing rhythmic sounds, among which a faint ringing stands out. The remains of a plaque can be seen on the frame. Alas, the inscription is completely indistinguishable due to the patina. Use cogitator. The ancient cogitator before you is a true work of art. Obedient to your commands, its machine spirit awakens with a soft hum of greeting. Enter identifier Laria. The cogitator falls deep in thought, its cooling systems buzzing tensely. After a few minutes of keeping you waiting, the vidscreen blinks and it dutifully presents you with a list of several journal entries that have not been accessed in centuries. Open entry titled New Horizons. The 3-star systems in the Cinerus Maleficum that have caught into my possession in my journey shall henceforth be known as the Tear of Solar, Ignis Corona, and Fortis Porta. These are new horizons that have never before known humanity's rule, and whose rogue Xenos overlords obliged me greatly by having already eliminated each other. The artifacts they left behind, a legacy of sorts, are priceless. A blade I took off the desiccated Eldari corpse on one of the Fortis Porta world carries immense power within it, and it is but one among a wealth of relics. I think the cover was really when that should be called a storm of a glass in a glass of water. I wish people crying that nobody using the final product. And yeah, I mean, we can't really, like, at this point, like, I don't want to say it's like an effort we should just give up on because, oh, everybody's using it, like, AI is being used without us knowing anyway, so I should be, like, care, but I don't know, but, I mean, I really just only have something against Gen AI. There's other types of AIs that are useful and actually good, but yeah, Gen AI, the creative process, yeah, I do feel you should probably avoid AI, like, like, even at the beginning, but I can see an argument where somebody might be like, hey, so with this we can get concepts. At the end of the day, my personal issue with AI, well, I have many issues with AI, is that, where did Gen AI get its stuff from? Did it get from public resources that nobody minds getting it from, or did we just go, like, did we just scrape, like, every porn artist on Twitter and just took their thing despite it saying, please don't use my art for AI? Like, I mean, yeah, these are all headaches that I'm just not willing to engage in. All I know is I want to play games. Previous experiences regardless. Yeah. I don't know, I mean, at the end of the day, my opinion isn't going to stop them, and I feel that, I don't know, as long as people don't, as long as it is the first thing people, like the very, very first thing, and first try to come up with things themselves, or just use it as inspiration. Kind of like the thing, like, that reminds me of this one, thing of, like, there was a fairly popular porn artist on Twitter, and somebody fed an AI with their art, And out of protest, what this artist did is they redrew the picture, but actually by hand. So instead of the AI drawing it, they drew essentially the AI's thing. And then they just mocked the AI, quote-unquote, artist by being like, what are you gonna do? Sue me for my own art? Like, this is my art style that you stole. Good idea to combine. Yeah, as long as at the end, as long as at the very end, yeah, I do agree with you. As long as at the very end it isn't in there, but it shouldn't be the crutch of the entire operation, right? You really own an art style? I mean, not really. But at the same time... How'd I word my thoughts? You can take inspiration from someone's art style, but I feel being a copycat of someone's like unique art style. Like we're not talking an amalgamation of several art styles, but rather just trying to one by one copy whatever that artist like has their style as. Like to put it into a very bad way of wording it, like a skinwalker of that person, right? I mean, yeah. AI is every art style. And I feel, I mean, an art style develops by having inspirations and then trying to like kind of mix and match your own thing. Like I would lie if I said there weren't a few things like when I did art back then, where I would try to like I saw what one artist that I really loved did, and I would try to kind of incorporate that into my own thing as well. I mean, I suppose by that point you could then say, well, then you're copying someone's art style, but only a part of it. And I mean, I suppose in that case, then, yeah, fair point. I mean, no one owns an art style, right? I mean, if you draw like Studio Ghibli, but not like not one-on-one, but just like I've taken inspiration, like say you took inspiration from, I don't know, Studio Ghibli, modern shonen anime, and I don't know, some Western artists, and I mean, I suppose, but usually great Van Gogh munching all over the paper once everyone was a copycat. Yeah, I mean, you bring up fair points, actually. I, I just, like, I think to me it also is kind of what someone's stance on this kind of is. Like, if you're just being like, yeah, I take them as a big inspiration, but I'm trying to kind of also do my own thing of, like, all of these, then I think it's a bit more okay than you just essentially saying, yeah, I think the art is cool, but I don't want to pay for the commission, so I'm just copying them, right? Or just being, like, cocky over it, like, oh my god, look how good my art is, while you're, like, a copycat of someone else. Like, have some humility, but I don't know. I think now it's kind of becoming like interpersonal things, like or interpersonal, like just people things, and that's about art style. The Acropolis, yeah, and I do still think that one should attempt to have like their own unique art identity, but I'm just not a fan of just, yeah, I mean, I know a few artists that are inspired by some other artists and are trying to like almost mimic them one-to-one. One-to-one, where's the third one come from? But I don't know, maybe I'm just an idiot and my opinion is completely wrong because there's lots of points against my thing. As they're being used by everyone, the second it becomes public. Yeah, fair point. All I just know is that I see art, Osber coughing. Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm noticing my opinion seems to be extremely wrong here, so, you know what, yeah, sure, yeah, I'll just I'll just... yeah. Yeah. Open entry title 30-second mirror. Korda is getting sloppy. He's using his Calix's connections to give me other dregs, whom he tried to pass off as elite troops. But I can only thank him for his lack of judgment. Those with nothing to lose make the most loyal servants, once they feel but a modicum of their masters' good graces. Lowly scum no more, they will be the sword and shield of House of Valancias, in faithful service to me and my descendants. Open entry titled The Crimson Dance of Cain. The power contained within this blade is the most mysterious one. Even Exalt -117 says keen mind has failed to comprehend it fully. Nor have several Eldari Xenos captured on my orders been able to tell me anything illuminating save for the weapons' name, the Crimson Dance of Cain. I know Cain to be an all-obliterating embodiment of war itself in their abominable belief system. A fitting name for it. The Cogitator dutifully closes the data repository and clears its vidscreen to await further instructions. Well, hit me with the archive then. The volume of data stored in Cogitator's bowels is enormous, and its comprehensive analysis would take months of dedicated lodges and historitor labor. However, the ancient device's machine spirit turns out to be unusually accommodating and informs you that it will readily open any section of the archive if you present the correct identifier of what you're searching for. Turn the shit off. The search prompt by hand. Make the AI try to understand, like what you're looking for. There's a faint mark on the polished mantelpiece, which was likely left by a glass. See, one of the things I have kind of by bringing your hand to the scan panel behind the book, you open a hidden door. The bed for the head of a rogue trader dynasty is befitting the status of its owner. Showing the PC's going to upload prompt or whatever. One issue, I probably shouldn't say issue, but one major problem I have when having discussions is that I can never tell if my points are good. And if I constantly hear counterpoints against the points I'm making, I feel like I shouldn't be talking anymore. Because, well, I'm constantly being told, yes, but, yes, but, yes, but. So, if there's always a but to what I'm saying, I have the feeling that any point I make is fruitless to make, because, well, it's gonna be wrong regardless. It's not like maths where if you have a solid point, or like can make a logical conclusion of like, if this, then that, then that, then that, then maybe I just see, I don't know, I'm just stupid. And I've been using my job too, yeah, regardless of the context. Fair point, actually, I meant to constantly, yeah. A mysterious item undoubtedly created by human hands. Also, we made Eldari weapons, or a las cannon. A mysterious, it's not a mysterious weapon, it's a las cannon. Or a las rifle. An empty glass and 3 unopened bottles of wine sit on a finely crafted table made from dark marbled wood. I believe this going to be different opinions. I'm going to shake hands at the end and disagree. The rare books arrayed on the shelves with the lavish, most pretentious bindings seem to be identical. Strange objects lie behind the glass of the display case. The complete absence of explanatory labels makes it impossible to learn what they are. It is a weapon. Dust is accumulated on the raised oil smears. If servants ever access this room, they do so very rarely. I don't know. I just remember years ago I would have this quote-unquote friend to have discussions with, and they would just never ever budge their opinions. Like, discussions would rarely give them a second view, like a differing view on things. They would just always just just stand by their point and be like, fuck this, I don't give a fuck. Like, no, they don't give a fuck, but they would just constantly like belittle all the points I would have and always be like, no, you're wrong, because, and even if the point was just shit, I always felt like, oh, so my points just aren't good enough for you to maybe even consider that my viewpoint might have some fruition to it. In hindsight, I really didn't like that person. Contrarians, aren't I playing into that? I suppose. The reason me even saying that this Ivan character is crazy and his points are dumb. Exactly! Finally, you understand perfectly well. I am stupid. Whenever the wearer hits an ally with an area attack, the wearer gains bonus stack a zealot effect. The wearer did 10% damage with the area attacks for each stack the zealot. Wait, where is she? Where is she? Where is she? She keeps hitting everybody else. Oh no, I need. Oh nay, no, 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 nay, 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 nay. Who else is ranged? You are ranged, but you don't do area attacks. The mysterious Xeno artifacts rest in a stasis field. I mean, I'm a contrarian in that sense of that I always try to kind of explore every avenue and just be like, hey, what if there's a point to this? Obviously within merit, of course. But with, like, I don't know, as example, yeah, I play Lissandra support, which a lot of people, a lot of Lissandra mains disagree with. So, to me, I'm like, yeah, let's try some differing things, but maybe that isn't contrarianism that I'm talking about, maybe it's just more, I don't know, openness or something. I don't know, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just too ADHD or autism or whatever the fucks, but I don't know, I don't like it if, like, there aren't logical conclusions to be made from a thing, or logical conclusions, like with math, say, we defined this as this, so if A, then B, and if B, then C, and I mean, I also appreciate that A can also be B, C, D, E, F, G, depending on how you define it. But then, like, there's this massive, huge web of A can contradict B, B can contradict C, and depending on how you word C, C can contradict F, and F somehow contradicts D, but it also perfectly plays into A, but all of those contradict each other, so we're in an endless loop of not making sense, but it makes perfect sense because discussions in human beings are rarely rational to begin with, because irrationality is part of the human mind, and the brain, of course, is irrational, and I feel like my social ability, or like my social, like sociality, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, social chord, and whatever the fuck the word is I'm looking for right now, just is so low that I'm just like, no, in games, I know if I press this button that happen. Why no, no. I don't know, conspiracy theory. That's the entire fucking alphabet. Yeah, I studied maths for a bit, of course I do. My compliments to your taste in art. The collection here is extensive and most interesting. You haven't seen my poem collection, girl. That's gonna be you on my back. Nah, I just have, like I think I can kind of put my thoughts into words with discussions, kind of, which is I easily get overwhelmed if I don't get like a clear like I think I get very easily overwhelmed if I don't get like a very clear sign of this point. How do I word this? Like, this point made sense to someone, if that makes any sense. And which I mean, I know that's not how discussions go, but I'm just stupid like that. This point, the upper or the lower one?
What is that?
What is that? Oh, just more cargo. Carcom, no cargo. I don't know, maybe I make more sense when I had more alcohol in me, because then I'm talking more, like, more frequently. Can't see my message, it blocked it. Huh? Did Twitch? No, Twitch didn't withhold it, so I don't know. Hey, Pascal. My appearance has caused slight disturbance in the rank of the servants of the Omnissiah assigned to the palace. Analysis of the performance of rituals and maintenance litanies has produced a satisfactory result. Hey, Idira. Ah, good old Dargonus. It's boring here without Lady Theodora. She loved to live in this sleepy little place with a couple of crazy decrees and public floggings of flabbergasted nobles. That point. Henrix. The lack of observers on this world has led their nobles to become extremely complacent. Today alone I overheard 3 statements that, if I so wanted, could be turned into grounds for a fair charge of heresy. Well, then go ahead. Nah, maybe I'm genuinely just, like, don't understand the point of, like, a quote-unquote proper discussion, right? Like, maybe I'm just too, like, weird, too logic-brained, like, maybe too much of that. Like, I do enjoy a discussion, and, like, it isn't that I want, like, just a correct point, because, as an example, take Lysandra in League, right? I am perfectly fine with people building whatever they want. I'm perfectly, like, if anything, I supported that Lysandra can be built as a tank. She can be built as a battle mage. She can be built as a burst mage, despite it being extremely bad and just not what she should be doing. But despite that, it is viable. You could, like even those you can build differently. Like, you can go, I don't know, Ludens into Shadow Flame, into whatever items. But you can also go, I don't know, if you want to go battle mage, you could go Rod of Ages into whatever the fuck, right? Like, there's so many different options, and I don't mind any of them. What I do mind is ignorance. Like, if people are like, no, you have to build it like this. I dislike close-mindedness. Like, I dislike it when someone is picky. I dislike close-mindedness, which might be ironic because I myself, I am quite picky with some things, and, well, I'm trying to not be close-minded. So, I don't know, here we come back to the entire thing of, you know, a human being being a irrational construct. Extremely happy people disagreeing with discussions and arguments. Imagine how boring the world would be for the same thing. Yeah, no, that all makes perfect sense. I think it's genuinely just that I get overwhelmed easily. I think it's actually just that I get overwhelmed, like, fairly easily, and I don't know how to handle being overwhelmed. A finely dressed man greets you with an incredibly radiant smile. His meticulously polished jaw augmentation reflects the palace's interior sharply as a mirror. Allow me to introduce myself. I am the Service Carmelan, a collector of curiosities. Perhaps your lordship will find something useful among my items. Rationalize this, Pensker. What kind of curiosities do you sell? Laserius points to his eagle and is still smiling. Equipment for noble cyber-assistants, of course. And on a man as modest as few in the Imperium can afford such luxury. But I'm glad you found my calling. Judging by his expensive attire and ostentatious augmentics, Laserius' wealth is unlikely to stem directly from his curiosity business. He came here following his heart, it seems, and not his greed. I am a rogue. I want to see what curiosities you have. What the fuck is this? Domination and elimination. That's what I want Lysandra to do to me. Inanimate shield. Death grip. Isn't that a band? Isn't that a band? Didn't they do like this is a meme? Wait, no. Like this is a band, isn't it? Like Death Grip is a meme, right? I think. The Cyberraven gains 10 willpower. If the Cyberraven is adjacent to 2 or more creatures after relocate his user, and psychic powers related to the Cyberraven. Ooh. Oh, this is actually very good with how I play Lysandra. That group because me at 12 years old. Why? Did you have very strong arms? Winged Delusion. Cyber Eagle. Oh, okay, familiar maintenance station upgrade kit. This upgrade kit permanently improves the Rogue familiar maintenance stations. When applied to any of them, both are improved. What does that mean? Familiar maintenance stations. What does that mean? Yes, let's go with that. Oh, you masturbated really hard and almost ripped your dick off. Ah, okay, sorry, I misunderstood that. Grave Chill. The Cyber Raven gains 30 willpower. At the start of combat, Veiled Degradation is increased by +5. While the degradation is 10 or more, the Cyber Raven suffers no damage, and any related activities an additional 10 will... Whoa. Oh, that's fucking huge. Oh, I like that one a lot, actually. Oh, I like this one, given I use Lysandra like that very often. Oh, this is huge. This is Eagle and Skull. Permanently improves. Yeah, give me all of this, fucker. Hey, do you have any more? Do you have anything rare? My collection will offer you the biggest and broadest choices in all of the expanse. However, even a devoted enthusiast like myself has his limits. There is a certain captain who owns a unique protocol, a family heirloom which he says refused to sell to me. His ship is called the Renegade's Fall. Perhaps you can chart a path to his hoard treasure. I will send you the coordinates of the place where we last met. This is a beautiful eagle. What is its name? His polished jaw shining, Lucerius extends his hand towards a bird, a hand likewise made of shiny metal. Her name is Akil. Sausages or marinated spicy chicken? Marinated spicy chicken, but add a lot of cayenne pepper to it. So your parents can then later on tell you how you fucked over your taste buds because how dare you enjoy spicy food and keep making your food spicier. And then years down the line being told that you have permanently fucked over your taste buds because how dare you have your own flavor, not flavor, your flavor palette and taste palette and dare just enjoy spicy food. Already marinated it. Well, marinated more. Little garlic, ginger, red pepper. Okay, did I stutter? Did I stutter? Did I stutter? Add cayenne pepper. Hop. Her name is Aquila. Her name is Aquila. As soon as I saw her, I knew a creature of such proud grace simply must be properly taken care of. Now, Aquila is an integral part of my life, as I am of hers. With a shrill cry, the eagle stabs her benefactress's metal palm with her beak. The augmented groans, while the merchant is still smiling as he mostly puts his hand back into his clothes and out of sight. Apologies, Aquila is still getting used to my replacement extremity. She liked the old one better. Can't really make it worse anymore. I didn't suggest this to make it worse, I suggested to make it better. Judging by Achilles' displeased look, the bird's fondness for her owner's original extremity was of an elementary rather than affectionate nature. Point to his implants. What's your friendship with Achilles the reason you needed those augmentics? You are exceptionally observant. The man laughs softly, melodiously, then shakes his head. Developing a friendship with such a noble creature is a thorny path, and after a moment of especially profound disagreement, I had to have my hand replaced. But this, Rosarius touches his jaw implant, his pride evident. This was purely for the beauty of the thing. I used to be passionate about finding rare augmentics and couldn't resist having them installed, even if they were made by, shall we say, not purely righteous hands, but a fine craftsmanship. The razor-sharp outlines. Please keep this a secret for Adeptus Mechanicus. I know the Red Priests don't condone things like that. If I want to purchase something, I'll let you know. Well, I've already purchased everything he had. So, where's these, like, upgrade thing? Hold on, so what do I currently have? When a Cyberraven relays one of Elvis' non-attacking psychic powers, it gains willpower and agility for 1 round. If a Cyberraven build has avian water in it, then immediately heals the fall of it or get full wounds, it grants 1 resolve to each ally. Okay, that's not actually all that good. Cyberraven gains 10 willpower to send. Am I crazy? Iconoclast Adherent. Is she Iconoclast Adherent? Wait, bye-bye, gonna cook. Alright, you enjoy your food, man. You enjoy cooking. And, talk to you later. Hopefully. I mean, probably will, but talk to you later, bled. Okay, so she's an Iconoclast follower, but would need to be adherent. Cheerio, bye-bye, guten Abend, all that. Purple, please stop sending me explicit IKEA furniture porn. Send him more. Send him more. Yep, psi rating. It also gives like excellent psychic powers and identifies damaging psychic powers. Yeah, sure, let's be crazy about this. Cuckoo crazy. Mosquetung port needs to be seen. Share it with me as well then, man. I want to see it. Oh, I didn't even notice Solomorn here. Solomorn. Supposedly Solomorn is like here somewhere. Like, yeah, man, we should put that. Don't stick your dick into Morcus. Where's Solomorn? Ah, here he is.
Rogue Trader, the Master is ready to meet with you. Do you wish to commence the audience?
I wish I know exactly what it is that the head of the Adaptus RBTs in the Expanse wants to see me about. Bye-bye. Have a good one, man. Enjoy the food.
I do not know the details, but I will assume the procedure is the same as it was in Lady Theodorus' time. A personal introduction, a reaffirming of allyship between the dynasty and the Adeptus Arbites, and a discussion of type-related affairs.
No, I have other business. Not yet. Aristocrat. Okay, so this guy wants to talk with me. The slender figure, clad in robes made from expensive fabric, shudders from violent coughing. Pressing a gilded respirator to his face, the man takes several deep breaths. Achilles, it's been many moons. I hope your cousin is feeling well. Achilles covers his burnt lips, trying and failing to suppress a coughing fit. She's in good health. She sends her regards to you, as well as her wishes for your swift return. Henrix frowns. For as long as the stars shine in the sky, my vigil continues. So it does. Achilles trumps himself on the chest with his augmented hand. You hear the clanging of metal against metal. Amid some foolishness to fail to notice a conversation in code. Your insight deserves credit, Rogue Trader. Then again, I expected nothing less from Theodora than Valencia's successor. Henrik looks at Achilles. Allow me to introduce Achilles Scalander properly. In addition to his duties as Secretary of the Administratum, he acts as an agent of the Golden Throne under my aegis. Master Scalander was transferred into my remit by a colleague who is engaged in other matters of the Coroner's Expanse. I'm sure you will find Achilles' service useful, especially when dealing with the schemes of humanity's foes within the border of your protectorate. Greetings, Lord Marius Prijanowski from Valencius. Allow me once again to express my deepest condolences on the loss of Lady Theodora. I will do everything I can do to track down the destroyer of Conrad Voigtvir's accomplices on the capital world. Do you know anything about what has become of Conrad Voigtvir, the former Master of Whispers, as a heretic and a traitor to the dynasty? Achilles nods grimly. Word of his treason reached Dargonus too late. Conrad came to the planet and left it almost immediately, once he had sown discord in the minds of the global and native. Anything but installing discord. The worst of the rumors he started was that you were the one responsible for Lady Theodorus' sudden demise. Of course, your loyal subject did their best to skin alive any who showed signs of doubt. But it seems unlikely that the wardens got to everyone who has allowed doubt into their heart and now nurtures it in secret. You promised me a report on the present state of affairs in the Protectorate. I have already forwarded all official reports to your Seneschal. As for the conversation we're having right now, I wouldn't trust any paper or data slate with its contents. You see, Lady Theodora, may the Emperor have mercy on her soul, was perfectly aware of Dargonus' political environment. You, however, have only just arrived on the capital world, and I thought it would be best to bring you up to speed. Frankly, the nobles of Dargonus, much like nobles on other worlds, are akin to spiders in a jar, ready to pounce on whoever is the weakest, or whomever they deem to be the weakest. The nobles of Dargonus are well-respected, rich, and powerful individuals who helped Lady Theodorus' favor for many years and found ways to rise above the rest of the diligently serving the Rogue Trader. Every family pursues its own selfish interests, and each one expects that with the transition of power, they will retain and even add to their lands and wealth. The families I would recommend giving particular attention to are the dry stems, the gapraks, and the sourbacks. I would also mention the Versarians, not a noble house per se, but a family that was part of Lady Theodorus' inner circle, to the blue bloods' great displeasure. I said my best collection, like and subscribe for more. Oof. Oh, vad fan. Please, don't make me come on stream, bro. Oj, oj, oj. Oj, 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 fart bath. Like and subscribe. Tell me about the dry stems. The Drevstrams are the ancient governor house of Dargonus. Predictably, the greater the wealth of the Von Valancius protectorate, the fuller their coffers grow. Their reputation is faultless except for one detail. We have evidence that urban Drevstrams' rivals seem to have the misfortune of regularly falling victim to Xenos raids. I found that these attacks are always a little too advantageous for the Drevstrams, but we lack solid proof, and it might never surface. One deed of evidence that urban Drevstrams are ever seem to have the misfortune of regular fall. Okay. The closer an official is to a rogue trader, the braver and safer they feel. I would just like to remind everyone that rubbing shoulders with Xenos is a heresy that can be overlooked only in the case of the Valencia's heir, not his servant. But I wanna fuck the Xenos. What makes the Gaprax special? Like, what if there's a Necron? I just want to shove my dick inside of a Necron and have little Necron baby. What makes the Gaprax special? The Gaprax hail from a remote forge world, and among their distant relatives there are many servants of the Omnissiah, and the house itself is close to the cult of the Adeptus Mechanicus, both in spirit and in their business connections. The Gaprax oversaw the industrial shipments within your protectorate until recently. Ever since the astropathic communication with Kiavagama was severed, they've been quite concerned about the security of the planet placed in their care. I've been to Kiavagama recently. The planet was already tainted by the cult of the Final Dawn. Achilles shakes his head. These are grim tidings. It's a tragedy that an industrial world of such tremendous capacity was brought down by the pernicious influence of the archenemy. Perhaps my colleagues can pick up the cultists as trailed in the cold void. Of course, it would be a small consolation to all of us. But you dig the Necros, they'll chop it off and assimilate it. Are you confusing Necrons with Tyranids? The Tyranids would. Definitely. The Necrons? I mean, maybe actually. Who knows? I would. What can you tell me about House Sourback? Religious and hard-working. The Sourbacks own many enterprises, including distillation manufacturers that produce promethium. I must note that lately members of the Sourback family have been prone to overly liberal statements about Valancia's dynasty. They believe that Lady Theodora was a bit too keen to leave her world without proper oversight. Who is... That was a long... That's a WhatsApp message. Who's sending me WhatsApp messages, man? Aww. Aww. Huh. Oh, I got pictures of the puppies that we have gotten. Because we recently got like cute little beagle puppies, and they're so damn cute, man. They're so super duper cute. The puppies are just like hold on. Let me try to get a picture of one of the puppies. Give me a second. Let me just get some of the puppies. Here. Let me get the picture of one of the puppies. Yeah, save this picture on my desktop. Hold on. Where the fuck is it? Here. This is one of the puppies. Her name is Alma. Look at her. She's so cute. She's so cute. Oh, she's so cute. She's a cutie patootie. No. I love them. I love these puppies. They're so super duper cute. Send me the pupper. You've just well, you can buy one of them if you want. Yeah, well, one of them puppers. And they're all girls. We only got girls. Like we've only gotten like girls. Like Ellen and Honey are girls. The 5 puppies are girls. Like we just have we literally just have bitches here. You little puppy. I'd actually know more about the Viserions. The Viserions are a line founded by Lady Theodorus as seneschal, and as such are nominally considered nobility, at least from the standpoint of the Imperial Navy, from which Lord Abelard hails. On Dargonus, however, their position is precarious. Firstly, they were never granted an official title, a process which has been impeded for decades by the old houses of Dargonus. And secondly, the other families do not see them as equals, but more as upstarts clinging to the rogue traders' favor. The Viserions are responsible for the capital Rose's fleet and a majority of the cargo shipments on domestic routes. But you get $10, including shipping. Including shipping! Oh, they're so cute. They're so cute. They're so cute. After hearing that, I feel the urge to have every one of those psychopaths executed one. No. Enough about the nobles. Is there anything else you wanted to report? There was, your lordship, and this time it concerns the main reason for my presence on this planet. Xenos and the threat they pose to both you and to humanity as a whole. 5 subs for a dog. Deal. No, like real talk. One of these puppies, and this isn't the prices we've set up. We were kind of being forced to, like, also kind of do these prices. A beagle puppy goes for 1,200 euros. I'm not even fucking joking. Those puppies are that expensive. It's fucking stupid and bonkers, man. It's wild. Wild that this shit is so expensive. The last few months have been difficult for the people who report to me. My eyes and ears scattered throughout the Coronis expanse. Warp disturbances, astropaths overcome with madness, ships disappearing in the immaterium. Many of my observers and contacts have gone dark or have been killed by some calamity or other. Still, I managed to establish communication with some key individuals who were able to warn me about incoming threats, including Xenos raids. 10 subs, take it or leave it. Tempting. 10 subs, take it or leave it. Okay, Patrick. Achilles looks at you in the eye without blinking. It is within my power to supply you with intelligence on where and when the Xenos will strike next. I do not doubt the Governor Drevston will beg you for protection against the Xenos, and in this fight, the information from my contacts will serve you well. I beseech you, Marish Bujanovsky, if ever report a threat looming over a ship or a planet, do not dismiss it. Sometimes it takes an intervention from the rogue trainer's mighty void ship to avert a disaster. I'm going to take a nap, see a screamer. Wait, a nap? Didn't you just have a work meeting? Bro had a work meeting, which the stream 10 minutes is like... Nah, have a good one, Fart Bath. Have a good one. Rest up, man. Enjoy your nap. And thank you for having been here. Take care, man. Take care. Tell me about the nobles of Hars Dargonus. I'm glad to refresh your memory. Oh, no, I don't need that anymore. Yeah, okay. What are your responsibilities here in Dargonus? Officially, I'm a secretary at this world's administratum department. Less officially, I'm afraid I can't disclose that even to you. In short, I collect and investigate reports of heresy taking root on upstanding planets of humanity. Above all else, I'm concerned about the Xenos threat that hangs over the entire Cornus expanse, including your protectorate. Sadly, my mission was complicated by the recent warp disturbances. I'm still trying to re-establish contact with many of my agents. Tell me about the Xenos. The residents of the local systems are no strangers to skirmishes with enemies of humanity. But recently, the loathsome beasts seem to have completely flown off the handle. We are receiving reports from ships that made it through the warp to Dargonus. Both they and the colonies that they departed from are being attacked. We have identified a breed of Xenos that pose this threat. The Drukhari, humanity's ancient and insidious foes. Be vigilant on your travels. The Xenos will undoubtedly attack a rogue trader's ship should they find the circumstances to be in their favor. Unfortunately, in the host of humanity, there are those who will be willing to grovel before our enemies in the hopes of a valuable reward. You may be interested to know that we are on the trail of such heretics. Achilles glances at the data slate. Overwhelming evidence indicates that a plundered void station in Langrenza's belt is being used as a base by a hand of pirates who are not above dealing with Xenos. I was unable to persuade the Chancellor of the need to dispatch a ship there, but perhaps you would like to pay a courtesy call to these scoundrels yourself? Yeah, sure. Do you know anything about the Call of the Final Dawn? My knowledge is deplorably limited, Your Lordship. All my attention has been focused on tracking Xenos activity. I'm certain that Master McCallick can tell you much more about this heretics than I. About your unofficial work. Yes? Whom do you truly serve, the rogue trader and the interrogator of the Inquisition? And whom does the rogue trader serve? The Golden Throne? The Protectorate? Could it be that one stems from the other? And if so, is there any sense in discussing it? Fair point. I want a list of all your agents and it means to contact them. I can understand your desire as a rogue trader to have everything under your control. And yet I'm not at liberty to make use of classified information related to interrogators as agents in whatever way I see fit. Achilles lowers his gaze and nods politely. And it's out a sigh of disappointment. There is no point in pressing my agents. None of them would ever reveal such vital information. Especially not in my presence. I have learned all I wanted to. Achilles bows and brings the respirator to his burnt lips. I have other questions. Sincerely hope that I can answer every one of them. The scars on your face. What happened? About 5 years ago, there was an accident. Several tanks of promethium exploded in the storehouse at my estate, and was buried alive under the rubble. The Emperor preserved my soul, and the skilled physicians of Dargonus saved my body, except for my lungs, with which I had to part. I presume the incident was an attempt on my life, but the identity of whoever was behind it remains a mystery. I gotta leave then. Achilles bows. According to the message I received a few minutes ago, Governor Drefstam has arrived at court. I imagine that the Chancellor is already prepared to arrange the meeting. All that's left is to notify her that you're ready to see Urband. Shall Chancellor Bazane arrange to receive the Governor of Dargonus? Well, let me first talk with whoever, like, Solomon wanted me to talk with. Yes, I'm ready to discuss our business. Oi, 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 oi. That's a fucking legion. And a woman. Damn. Oh, he looks cool. I like him. Oh, he looks really cool. Two markedly distinct figures approach your throne. Marching in front is a man clad in Adeptus Arbites armor. He carries his helmet in the crook of his arm, but his stern facade serves him as well as any visor could. He bows to you sharply. Martial stars of the Adeptus Arbites. An old woman walks in the marshal's shadow, her body fitted with dozens of scribing implants and magnifying instruments. If not for her eyes, quick and inquisitive behind a giant pair of ocular lenses, you might have mistaken her for an exotic servitor. Her robes are adorned with sacred symbols of the Adeptus Administratum. Oh, the prefect, not perfect. Prefect in Scribia Vultur. Oh, she looks cool. The woman bows.
Rogue Trader Marius Presidovsky from Valanches. I prefect and scribe Volter in your behalf of the Adeptus Administratum. I will now begin the due procedure of official address to the ruler of Dargonus is formalized by Amendment 4-N/10 to Law SK-941. May your name be reaved and gloried for centuries to come. May your fortunes even proliferate. May the God Emperor bestow upon you a duty worthy of his chosen.
Her monotonous droning is making you worry. It seems he intends to go on for a good while longer. Get comfortable and listen to the end. The prefect resumes her elaborate formula. You notice a few poorly concealed yawns and frenzied blinking among the crowd. The speech drags on for another 5 minutes, but you pass this test of fortitude honorably. At last, the prefect's address comes to an end. Abla, what are the people doing? I don't recall seeing you at court. What is the purpose of your visit? The marshal leans forward. His voice is low, and when he speaks, it feels as though the marble tiles of the palace have begun to vibrate.
The Adeptus Arbites delegation has arrived to greet Lady Theodorus' successor and to see to the extension of your decades-long arrangement.
If I may continue for you,
The prefect steps forward, dragging her feet slightly.
as per the decree of Theodora of Valencia's ORD-037/3N, the representatives of the Adeptus Administratum and the Adeptus Orbites are sanctioned to use the Palace of Justice, oversee tithe collection in the Protectorate, and review any and all cases of tithe avoidance, tithe exceedance, and other irregularities. These rights have been formalized in numerous pacts and statutes under the main decree. Considering your new position, you may have yet to acquaint yourself with all these documents. You are the successor of Lady Theodora, whose alliance with our two sacred organizations forever glorified her as a rogue trader closely tied with the executives of holy terrors as well. And we, as representatives of the Adeptus Administratum and the Adeptus Orbites, must verify that you are able to maintain this alliance that has brought such repute to your dynasty.
The prefect scrutinizes you as if trying to estimate your proportions and weight.
This is why we have arrived in person, as the present circumstances have provided us with a chance to see if your intentions concord with those of the late from Valencius.
And what circumstances are those? The prefect's lips contoured into a twist.
Our work has been disrupted by unforeseen setbacks regarding communication and transportation. As our requisitioned assets were not adequately prepared, we have lost some of our personnel and resources as a result. The arbitrators are too short-handed to perform all duties expected of them. Since they first arrived in the Expanse, their numbers, limited from the outset, have only continued to dwindle. After analyzing the situation in accordance with Amendment FS/893-24 to Decree ORD-037/3N, we have decided to notify you of a tithe violation committed by one of the worlds in the region. This regrettable lapse must be rectified as quickly as possible.
The old woman shivers and rubs her augmented hands together with an unnerving creak. Which word was it that had the misfortune of drawing your attention? If one of my governors missed a tithe payment, would simply have them hanged at the debt collector. And which world was it?
The Sarah, a feudal world far from the main roots that has bereft of the Imperium's light, then rediscovered less than 2 centuries ago. It supplies agricultural resources and manpower.
If one of the governors I'll carry you. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll do so. I'll offer you my help.
An arbitrator will be assigned to you for increased security. But Bruckner Anthar, front and center.
The Marshal's voice thunders over the arbitrator's ranks, and Solomon Anthar marches over to your throne, his saber mastiff at his heel. Thank you for your support. I will go to Thessera as soon as I can.
The Emperor protects.
The Marshal makes the sign of the Aquila in a motion so sharp that you can practically hear it cutting the air. The prefect adjusts her ocular lens with a worry sigh.
And once again, no specifics given. And of course, in my reports, nobody ever stops to think.
She quickly catches herself and offers you a bow. Well, fuck you, old woman. Okay. Hey, Clementina. Your lordship. Clementina bows her head politely. For a chancellor to a rogue trader, she is dressed rather simply. A parade doublet, polished boots, and a comfortable cloak. She bears a saber in a gilded scabbard, whether for show or protection, one could not say. Only her ring with the Versarian coat of arms indicates that she is of the highest social stratum. The governor is waiting on the periphery of this palace. Please let me know when you would like to see him. The sharp gaze, the impeccably straight back, the composure. For a moment you feel like you're looking at a younger version of Abelard himself, not his heir. Judging by the scars on the exposed parts of her body, Clementia saw her fair share of combat prior to assuming the position of Chancellor. What are your responsibilities as a Chancellor? To put it simply, I'm your trade representative. Any and all decrees, deals, official communication, and meetings are first reviewed by me and then forwarded to you, and from you down the hierarchy. My purview also includes overseeing your lordship's property, the palace, the estates, the many gardens, and under the Demesnes on Dargonus that you have inherited from Lady Theodora. And whenever you are present on Dargonus, consider me your personal secretary. Could I also call you an office lady? I like her, she looks cool. What can you tell me about Dargonus? All deals and important decisions are made here in the capital. Many years ago, an ancestor of Lady Theodora signed an arrangement with the Adeptus Administratum which allowed for efficient management of the world and the neighboring systems. In accordance with the decree, a share of the planet's population was assigned to the Administratum and converted into servitor scribes. They now toil across the entire world. Dargonus is also the seat of several noble families who run all the major planets in the Protectorate. If I may express my not-so-humble opinion, they care very little about who exactly stands at the helm. Now, Spiranos think about their own profits just as much as they do about the prosperity of the Protectorate itself, if not more. And lastly, Dargonus has its own fleet, a luxury unavailable to the vast majority of other worlds in your realm. In addition to warships, the Protectorate also employs privateer ships which are used to transport cargo between worlds. Does the capital stay in contact with the other worlds in the Protectorate? Unfortunately, not at this time, your lordship. After the few representatives of the Adeptus Astra Telepathica and Dargonus went into a frenzy, some of the Psychers were tragically pacified by the respective authorities. Since then, communication with the neighboring systems has been unreliable at best. Thanks be to the Master of Mankind that you managed to find your way to the capital. If noble houses are so volatile, what sense is there in keeping them? Over the many centuries, an intricate hierarchy has formed within the ruling elite of Dargonus. The great houses do more than plunder your treasury. It is replenished to a larger degree, thanks to the administrative work in their lands. Naturally, you can get rid of anyone whom you consider surplus of the requirements, but right now it could threaten the fragile stability that is currently holding the Protectorate together. Any other issues I should be aware of? Apart from the disrupted communications, Dargonus was recently raided by enemies of humanity. However, the fleet, under the command of Captain Marthius Versarian, triumphed over the accursed Xenos. If you ask for my opinion on this matter, we have the situation completely under control. You catch her avoiding your gaze for just a moment, for the first time. It's obvious that Clementia is looking out for her house's good name, but despite the confidence in her tone, you can tell that she doesn't entirely believe her own words. Tell me about Governor Drivestem. Urban Drivestem is a well-respected man, and not just on Dargonus, but throughout the Protectorate. For many centuries, his house has supported the capital's administration and the logistics between the von Valancius systems. The Drivestems' efforts secured years of order and prosperity for Dargonus. What's more, Lady Theodora personally insisted that Lord Urban specifically be made the next governor. The way you speak of Drivestem, I hear a hint of either contempt or resentment. No, I don't believe I feel either, your lordship. Clementia's steely eyes stare into the distance, her jaw clenching visibly. She speaks in a polite but clipped manner, clearly flustered by your insight. We have different views on how to run a world. Sometimes we have discussions over the laws that are enacted, but we both work for the good of the Valancius Protectorate, and much can be said without a doubt. Thanks for the report. Achilles Scalander, does he cause any problems? Why, not at all, your lordship. Secretary Scalander is an outstanding individual and a loyal servant of the Van Valancius dynasty. In Lady Theodora's absence, we collaborated on a number of issues related to the well-being of your domain, and he has proven himself quite capable. And I don't know why, but even the governor trembles before Achilles, which is unusual for a man of his, shall we say, standing. The last word brings a slight smile to her lips. Well, we'll get the governor in here. Clementia bows before leaving. I shall arrange for him to be escorted to your study. Marish Pujanovsky from Valancius, 20th in line, Broctator, keeper of the Sacred Warhammer, and ruler of the Dargonus, expand from the Recronic system to the 100 Redeems Crossroads. I bid you welcome. Urban Drivestem, governor of this great world. First and foremost, please accept my deepest condolences. It will be difficult to recover from the loss of a woman as great as Theodora von Valancius. It pains me to think that she is no longer with us. The citizens of Dargonus and the entire Protectorate grieve alongside you. Please allow us to declare half a year of mourning so we can honor the memory of our beloved duty. The governor glances at Kibella anxiously, then immediately averts his gaze. He then looks at her again, but when Kibella lets out a grim chuckle and stretches her lips daubed in fresh blood into a petrifying grin, the governor turns away from her sharply, all but squealing in fear. The North of Valencia was mourning, you were killed a full year of mourning. I will immediately give all necessary instructions, your lordship. He casually presses a few buttons on the cogitator built into his gold bracelet. Esteemed Mariusz Pujanovsky, Lady Theodora was a strong leader, and we ought to follow her example. Let us lean on our wisdom and preserve in spite of this tragedy. Together. And let us carry on where she no longer can be leading the von Valancius Protectorate to even greater prosperity. Alas, it won't be an easy task to accomplish. Some time ago, this pressed astropaths of Dargonus flew into a rage, and they had to be Subdued. We are gradually restoring our ability to speak with neighboring worlds, but the contacts are still weak and the routes are tangled and no longer lead to the systems that the captains expected to. Given that the vast majority of ships in the Dargonus Navy travel without relying on the services of navigators, without your engagement, the well-being of the Von Valancius dynasty and billions of its subjects are presently at risk. Oh, why am I suddenly so very tired? Oy. You met a ship from Dargonus not too long ago. The crew was transporting a strange artifact and went mad during the flight. This is a truly regrettable bit of news. What's more, leaving Dargonus has been forbidden for several cycles now. It seems the Rosarian family has once again failed in their primary responsibilities. He shoots Abelard a condescending look. We will investigate this at once, as well as the fact that the ship had to acquire a permit with the Administratum seal. Does your nephew still serve at the Administratum Palace? The governor presses a number of buttons on the cocketator built into his brace and looks up at you in surprise. I don't understand. The ship did indeed depart from orbit, but it did so, if you can't believe it, under rogue traders' authorization. This is why no one dared to impede its departure. Lord Captain, it would seem that Dunrat somehow got his hands on a copy of your authorization, or perhaps even the original. A tool like that in the hands of a traitor does not bode well. Kunat Voigtver, former master of whispers, is a heretic and a traitor. Has he shown his face on Dargonus? The governor pensively strokes his rings, glittering on his fingers. Lord Voigtver visited the capital some time ago, but he did not request a personal meeting. A heretic, you say? Now I see where all the whispering and the cowardice has come from. I shall be frank with you, your lordship. Lady Theodora's sudden death was a blow to every one of us, and in the absence of any sort of verifiable and complete information about her successor gives grounds for all manners of rumors and misinterpretations, especially if someone is deliberately inciting unrest and discontent. Naturally, none would dare challenge you by accusing you of something as sacrilegious as murdering a rogue trader. However, Conrad Voigtver was once a true boon to the Protectorate back in the day, and as such, some might heed his words. And subjects of the attendants, all who have dared to make heretical remarks about the rogue trader's servitude imperituous machines are prone to dissidence. The subject's doubts are understandable. Too many things have changed and too short of a span. Improvements are worthy of position. Publicly rip out vocal cords and tongues of every slander, replace them with vox and plan to sing the praise of the rogue trader marriage from Pujanovsky from Valencia's without interruption. I think, Jesus, we'll convince them. Why Marius Pujanovsky, your desire is most commendable, but please don't forget, a ruler should never bow to their attendants, or some might see it as a show of weakness. What exactly do the Dargonus nobility expect from me in light of the loss of routes and communication with other worlds? We are all troubled by the fate of the agreeable Ionos that supplied Dargonus and other planets with foodstuffs. Empty stomachs can drive even the mildest rebel to revolt. Furthermore, House Geprak is perturbed by the loss of communication with the industrial world Kiava Gamma, which is in their charge. But if you wish to know my opinion, the world deserves your attention. The most practical is the penal world Vebus 6, one of the key mining supplies in your protectorate. Shouldn't you even concern for the Vebus 6 outpost? Doesn't your house happen to own the extraction stations there? Drivestem's beady eyes widen in fear.
Your lordship, I beg of you, do not interpret my words in this attempt to influence your decisions in any way. You see, without Weber 6, the manufactoriums in your worlds will need to make haste to find new suppliers elsewhere and arrange for new shipments. And in these troubling times, they're under risk of delays and other tragic mishaps. My only concern is for the prosperity of Valencia's dynasty. Yeah, right. Yeah, sure. But the minute Yavagam, the industrial world was overtaken by a cult of chaos worshippers. Drivestem pauses, mulling over the gravity of your words. Such woeful tidings, your lordship. I assume that House Geprak is in for an official investigation. If I may remind you, they have practically close ties to the Adeptus Mechanicus and serve as patrons of Kiava Gamma. Not to speak in the defense of criminals, your lordship, but from where I stand, the outbreaks of heresy in Kiava could hardly have been perpetrated by a noble family who stands to lose the majority of the wealth should the industrial world fall. It's too early to draw any conclusions. Most reasonable, your lordship. What of the industrial world? Are we to expect trade to recommence? The production facility of Kiamagam will save humanity once more, rest assured. As Geprak will be overjoyed to hear it. Thank you for dispelling the darkness around the fate of Kiava Gamma. I've already been at Ioannos. Truly, the Wyatt line is one of the oldest in Valencia's protectorate. If the inheritor of such well-respected blood could not handle whatever had befallen her, then his situation must have been extraordinary indeed. Vistencia succumbed to worshipping the ruinous palace and was executed. Vistencia no longer charge of the world. She is dead. I have delivered Janus into more capable hands. Yeah, it will come to worshipping the ruinous palace and was executed. Drivestem pales in terror. It is clear from the unseemly grimace on his aristocratic countenance that his fear is not feigned. Ruinous palace? Truly horrifying news. I commend your resolve and unwavering serenity. They're the enemies of humanity. That is for the planets and the trade routes. What else? Xenos, your lordship. I don't rightly know where to begin. He rubs the bridge of his nose wearily. Otherworldly beasts are not an uncommon sight in the Cronus expanse. They have been a menace to the worlds the sight of the mole for decades. But now those abominations are on the rampage. They show us no signs of fear as they attack ships, either damaging them to the point where they become unfit to transport duty, or outright gutting them. Only you have the power to stop this madness. Wait, sorry. We are in the process of restoring the astropathic choir of Dargonus. Luckily, we were forced to slay only some of the deranged psyches, although those that remain are as yet unable to transmit messages. I hope Master Scalander will keep his word and offer you his support in a war against the Xenos. According to his reports, the region of Vibo 6 has been of particularly concern in the last few cycles, which is all the more reason to discover the colony's fate as soon as possible. Now, to issues on a smaller scale, there is a certain degree of tension in the capital due to the unorthodox succession of the Sacred Warrant. Chances of uprising are minimal, of course, and the spreading of rumors is nothing but a sign of weakness of mind and spirit. Nonetheless, I have prepared a list of minor houses that have demonstrated unseeming discomposure at your succession. What is to be done about them? Command the spinners of the blood-spun web, and they will set a fine snare of retribution, Domin Marish Pujanovsky. We will whisper names, and that whisper will drown out insolent voices. Eliminate the most prominent militias quietly, but do not threaten their families. Hopefully these serves will be enough to keep us causing us any more trouble. I don't care what hyenas be upping or not. I leave them be, they are not a threat to me. Make arrangements for public purges, and I'll send to the controlled nobles lavish gifts on my behalf, and make sure that my generosity does not go unnoticed by the rest. No, send them gifts. So no, let's try to be peaceful first. An elegant solution, your lordship. Other families will assume that your relationship with the defiant houses are more complicated than one might think, and the agitators will receive the message that they are being watched. And one last thing, your lordship. Your inauguration as bearer of the Sacred Warrant is but a matter of time, and I would like to inquire about one crucial detail. I imagine that you were intending to uphold a centuries-old tradition, bolstered by an equally long-lasting friendship, of being represented on Dargonus by one of the noble houses. I presume that before this duty will be accorded to House Drivestem. One moment, which houses can represent me at the ceremony? Any of the noble houses located on Dargonus, the Drivestem family, which I lead, the Gabrick family, which long ties to the Adeptus Mechanicus, the Sarabaks, known for their piety and diligence in service. Perhaps I should also mention the Versarians, who have some influence, but are not actually of noble origin. Any one of those houses would be honored to represent you at the ceremony. You know what? I'll make Abelard proud. Abelard, you present me. Abelard turns to you and bows respectfully. Lord Captain, to accompany you at such a critical hour is the great son of the Versarian bloodline. Have no fear, we will not fail you. Drivestem tosses Abelard a look that lacks even the smallest shred of respect. Forgive my boldness, but I must remind you that the Versarians, as lineage traces back to a navy officer, are not of the Dargonus nobility. Such decisions may have adverse effects on your subjects' loyalty, your lordship. Drivestem's face breaks into a bitter smile. I shall immediately relay your commands, Lord most gracious Lord Trader. Thank you for your time. Tell me about Joseph and Hall's Drivestem.
It would be my pleasure to enlighten you. My house is the oldest and most respected on Dargonus. My ancestors walked side by side with yours for many generations as they cared for this world's welfare. Our duty is to supervise the governing bodies within the systems subservient to you, and we are responsible for the Protectorate's logistics and economic stability. As for me personally, oh, wait, important. I am a humble servant of the Emperor and a loyal subject of the Rogue Trader, and, to my greatest pleasure, I had the honor of calling myself Lady Theodora's close friend. 1 second. Alright, so, I mean, I was going to end the stream soon, but I have to end the stream fairly soon, so... At Urban's last words, Abelard lets out a sound that could be interpreted as either a snort or a cough. Urban gives him a look which Abelard meets with an expression of utter nonchalance. That'll be all, I take it. Thank you for your time, Lord Lordship. Since duty calls, I should take my leave. May the Emperor's grace be with you. Okay, so, yeah, as I said, I have to end the stream fairly quickly, actually. And as much as I would love to, like, do a bit more or raid someone or whatever I do, yeah, I need to fairly quickly actually end the stream right here. So, as much as I dislike having to end the stream very quickly, I do sadly need